I recently got into a terrible fight with my sister. We angrily accused each other of being difficult, unreasonable, angry people. So you escalated the situation. You gotta de-escalate. We were wildly unskilled in this interaction and haven't spoken since, unless absolutely necessary for legalistic purposes. What happens when you get into a fight, right? The I gets involved, and you get defensive. Somebody says, you, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it feels like you're attacked. And if you're not aware of that, if you're not mindful of that, it becomes like a tennis or a badminton match. And you're like, oh, me, blah, blah, blah. And it just goes back and forth, and it just escalates and escalates until you stop talking to the person. I need to apologize for having been unskilled, and I know that to make amends, I need not to expect anything in return from her. Very important, very important. Making amends and apologizing, whether they accept it is up to them. You do this not only for them, but you're doing it for you. Whether they accept it or not, you have no control over. I need not to expect anything in return. I need to apologize for any hurt I may have caused her. I fear her easily triggered rage is reaching out like this. What I've found is a very good thing to do is actually to apologize, even when I feel like I'm right. And I don't mean that like that. They say like when you're married, you should always apologize, even if you feel, but what I apologize for my end of a situation, right? If I did something, if somebody attacked me and was very unskillful towards me, and I maybe was just a teeny bit unskillful towards them, well, I apologize for that teeny bit. Even though in my mind there's like a leveling and saying, well, they did all of this and I only did this. Why should I apologize? I apologize anyway. Just to free myself from that action, from that mind state of propagating this of that person. You're just focused on that person and what they did. What we want to do is focus on what we did and our actions. And so doing that, forcing yourself to apologize is important. Now, that doesn't mean that if you have been seriously harmed or hurt or something that needs to be addressed, it should be addressed. Without a doubt, it should be addressed. This is not about saying, okay, I apologize, and then you still harbor this resentment inside you and these kind of things. If something has to be addressed, it has to be addressed. But if you feel like you did something unskillful, it's very skillful to apologize, whether they accept it or not. Had I been practicing Metta, the fight would not have happened, might not have happened. I wouldn't say would. I prefer to avoid her, but the ugliness of unresolved conflict is a heavy cart for this ox to pull. She triggers my PTSD. I feel I need to protect myself. Please comment. If every time you have an interaction with this person, there's just such a negativity and they just drag you down, you have to protect yourself. Even if it's a family member. There's a woman here, maybe about 7 months ago, and she asked about, her parents, and I was going on and I was talking about, yes, I know parents can be tough and this and that, but she's sitting in the back and she raised her hand and she explained the full reasoning behind how her father was abusive towards her and all this, and now he's old and she's taking care of him and all this stuff like that. And that changed almost everything for me. That was where you have to take care of yourself. You have to, if somebody is in a way what the Buddha would call a fool, the Buddha does not want us to associate with somebody like that, that's going to drag us down. We have to if you can't find somebody who's going to be skillful and positive, it's better to go at it yourself. That's what the Buddha says. Now, of course, like I said before, if it's a family member, you can't really do that. It's kind of hard to do that. And especially since maybe the family member, there's mixed feelings. I think it's very rare that, siblings have total, utter hate towards each other. There's just things that get in the way, like mental health and emotions and things like that. The only thing you can work on is yourself. You have to understand that, and if you try to help your sister, they might see this as you coming off as higher than them or pretentious or these kind of things. People can really take advantage and misinterpret your goodwill. So beware of your own actions, apologize for your own actions, take care of yourself, and do what you can for others.